I think we're live. I think we're live. What's happening, everybody? Hello. Let's see what we've got. Oh, we've already got a good number of people here. Let me make sure I have mine muted. I do. Anyway, hey guys, what's happening? What's happening with you?
Nothing.
It's Wednesday.
It's working.
What's Wednesday?
Our all-day virtual boss up and list party.
Yeah. So Wednesdays we like to do our it's an all-day virtual listing party in the Boss Facebook group. So if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, you're a huge loser, right? Oh, I mean, you're just missing an opportunity. So
you're
you should
missing out.
Anyway, the link to the Boss group is down below. But every Wednesday we do an all-day virtual listing party. I put up a post in the morning so people can basically. Theresa, you're making so much noise over there. Hold on a second. It keeps like bumping back to you. But anyway, we put up, so people can go in, check in, set goals for the day. And then we have our Boss Up in the List show at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's generally based around something business related.
Yep. Wednesday's show is all about business in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. So pretty exciting, guys. Yeah, Sunny, Datamiine is a dating app. So for eBay sellers. Anyway, so as you can see, so we were supposed to have a show last week, but it needed to be pushed back. And so we're here this week. We've got Theresa with us. What's up, Theresa?
Apparently I'm too noisy for you all.
Well, when you make noise, it automatically it switches screens. And so if you're not actually talking, then it's like this weird thing. It shows you just like fiddling around with your desk and stuff. Anyway, so
I get it.
Theresa, of course, if you don't know her, she is the bossiest of all the bosses.
She is the Boss Facebook group creator.
And pretty much the queen.
And leader, the queen of all bosses.
And she's really good at harassing people about numbers because she loves them and,
Although I've been slacking
Susie
this
Beach
year.
calls her, what, T-Money?
Yeah, T-Money.
Yeah, I've been slacking this year about numbers.
Theresa, come on.
Tara.
Come on. But we have Theresa on here because she's been doing a lot of work with our other guest with this project that we're going to be talking about. And so we've had him on before, but he is also a Boss Facebook group member and a fellow eBay seller. And of course, I'm talking about Brooks Boland. What's up, Brooks?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
And so remind us what you sell. I think, isn't it like computer stuff?
Yeah, we sell primarily 80% computer parts, not like desktops and laptops, but like server parts. And then our other 20-30% is now in clothing. So we really respect our clothing users out there.
Yeah, all right.
It's a lot of work.
It sure is.
The clothing is more challenging than the computer parts, I would think, as far as individual listing and customer content. People buying computer parts know what they need and what they want.
Yes, we have like a 40% sales through rate on some of our parts. Clothing has 5.
Yeah, that's 5 is about right on clothing.
Pretty much.
5 between 5 and 10 is pretty average for clothing people.
Yeah.
So now, Brooks, why don't you? So you are a seller, and you've been selling. How long have you been selling for?
5 years.
5 years. And so with what you sell, there was a lot of stuff. There's a reason why you started Datamiine, and it was mainly for your own business, correct?
Yes, so I was very fortunate enough to have a partner who is a developer. So we worked full-time at other tech companies, software companies. So we found a very niche in what we bought, and we hired employees to manage everything for us. So once a week, we would have weekly meetings with our employees, and we would just watch where they're clicking, how often they're clicking. And we basically built an entire CRM around our tool to help us with our eBay operations, from accounting to listing to shipping to all that stuff. So this tool has been in works for like 5 years, and now we're ready to launch it.
Yeah, and I think we started talking to you about it probably about a year ago.
Yep.
And Theresa, of course, she is the queen of numbers, and so she really jumped into it with you and kind of helped you get together a lot of beta testers, and probably you guys have been beta for about the last year, right? Like really like full on developing it with the help of other people.
Yep, exactly. A lot of the feedback you see is a lot of the features that you see in the project are actually directly from our user base. So we are very fast in pushing out new features.
And Wuchan is the developer, the software designer. The back room knows how to do all this stuff. He is like the master, I have to say. I am lacking and slacking as part of your beta group. I have not participated nearly as much as I need to because numbers scare me. I just watch in the group, and every time anyone has a suggestion or a question or an issue, I swear it's done and developed within 24 hours. I don't even know how that is possible. But yeah, he's the man, because I can't even imagine. It takes eBay, 7 months to change one column on a page for their software, and he gets it done in 24 hours. It's amazing.
So Wu-Chun is the master of software development. He seems to be having a little problem with YouTube.
He's good now.
He's good now. He's over in the chat, and he was, for some reason, he was coming up as Brooks, but now he is himself.
Oh my gosh, I'm duplicated.
Anyway, so really quick, Brooks, will you just explain really quick what CRM means? Because not everybody is kind of part of the world where they would have ever come across using a CRM tool.
A CRM tool is
wait. Let me do my little joke first.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
CRM.
Done.
We used to call CRS, but CRM is can't remember much. So you can imagine what CRS means.
So Brooks, what is it? What is a CRM? Give us a quick explanation.
So it's basically a customer relationship management tool. So imagine a tool that helps you manage all of your day-to-day activity. So from your fulfilling orders to accounting to, one thing we realized is there's a lot of software products out there for eBay sellers, but not one was doing a little bit of everything. So instead of paying, 4 subscription fees or 3 subscription fees to manage your day-to-day, how about you just have one-stop shop? That's what we do.
Well, and basically any eBay seller can just go sign up. You sign up for your eBay account, you start selling on eBay. You can do all the basics of running your business directly through eBay. But once you kind of have been doing it for a while, you start to realize there's certain things that you can't do or you wish you could do, and certain tools that maybe eBay doesn't provide. And, like
eBay gives you the basics. They give you the basics to use this and create, and have a business.
Yeah.
But once you get to a certain point, you realize that you need more than the basics. And depending on your level of your business, you may need a lot more than the basics. And I think that that's where other software developers have bits and pieces in the market, have looked to fill that niche that people need. And I think Datamiine has like everything under one roof.
Or they're trying to anyway. And I think, and what's really cool is what we were saying earlier about, how responsive you guys have been and Wu-Chun and stuff like that to people. What's been really cool is all the people that have been involved in beta. It's like, you can be like, hey, I wish that this tool did X. And then by the end of the week, all of a sudden it's there if it's something that's attainable. But I think, even the smallest eBay sellers at this point probably use some sort of third party, even if it's just using pirate ship to buy labels. So you at least know that there's something that you probably are using that's not just eBay. Right. And so I guess, so what we're going to be talking about today is kind of like what Datamiine is and how it can help you as an eBay seller to be more efficient and hopefully more successful. So
and understand your numbers better, understand your business better. I think it has the ability and to do all of those things. Because I think a lot of people start in this business and they just kind of start selling stuff. They don't really know what their bottom line is. They don't really know what their profit is. They don't really know how much they're paying in fees. They just know that, okay, I sold 10 things and this is how much I have in my PayPal account. And this is how much, a lot of people don't understand the intricacies involved with taking this to the level of it being an actual business. And I think that Datamiine takes a lot of those, takes a lot of that information and answers those questions for you. Even for people like me that are not numbers people, it makes it easier to understand and look at the big picture broken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always said the most profitable piece of your business is the things that you outsource. So if you can pay a tool 20 or 30 bucks a month and you saved hours of time, that's going to give you time to focus on things you're good at.
Yeah. Right.
So whether it's sourcing or shipping or things like that, and that way it will help you scale faster.
Yeah. Now, Chris is in the chat and she says it's irritating because eBay could provide these tools. That's to a certain degree that's true, but also it doesn't matter what company, what website, what platform you're talking about, whether it's in the reseller world, whether it's something like let's take Reddit for example, because it's come up a few times in the last week. If anybody knows of Reddit, knows that website, you know, you can use the official Reddit app on your phone to be able to access Reddit, or you can download any number of other apps that do it differently and give you different options. It's just the case for pretty much anything. Amazon, probably Etsy, you know, there's always going to be a third-party company that's going to come in and say, you know what, it could work better if you use these tools. And so it's just a matter of like finding those third parties that kind of give you what you want. But Brooks, why don't you give us like a quick, like, I don't know, top 5 features of Datamiine that you offer right now for sellers?
Okay, so top 5, number 1, delist and relist automation. So what this does is we give you better insight into your active inventory. So on eBay, it's just kind of like buried on there, but you can download, once you get into Datamiine, you can actually see what's not moving. And then you can automatically delist and sell similar those items through our automation, which if you do, let's say 100 items, if you approve 100 items, we do 25 per day. And what that does, we think, is tricks eBay into thinking that you're in eBay every day, relisting 25 things, which increases your search rank, which increases your sales. A lot of our users are making $500, $1,000 extra per month in stuff that hasn't sold within a half a year, just because we're relisting it, making it fresh, and doing that. So huge feature there. 2, the accounting features make it really easy so you can see the net profitability on every single item if you want. So some sellers want to know that. If you don't want to know that, we still give the accounting feature to where if you want to, if you sell on other platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, you can still use Datamiine for accounting. So that's another one there. Mileage tracking, if you use MileIQ, you can use Datamiine now. And we've heard many things with MileIQ where you have to be stopped at a place for a long period of time before it recognizes that. But Datamiine makes it a lot more simple versus that tool. And then the 4th one, I would say just the inventory features. If you are using consigners, if you're using virtual listers, we make it very easy for you to be able to see who created the listings. I mean, imagine custom label. Custom label is a one-dimensional thing inside eBay. But in Datamiine, you can quickly say, I want a custom label that equals the consigner, the lister, and maybe even the inventory bin. And you can run reports off that. So you can pay your virtual listers off seeing when things got listed. You can pay your consigners. So you can take basically a one-dimensional thing and turn it into 3 dimensions by using Datamiine. And you can just keep drilling down like that. 5th, Theresa, what's the 5th one? There's so much with the tool.
So one of the things that I really like, I just logged into Datamiine so I could see this, is I really like the summary pages. And one of the things that I really like about it is that I can see not inconsistencies. I could see things, and I'll share this with you. It's like, what did I just do? The listing where it has the new versus used. Yeah. And I had like 38 items that said new with box, and they were shoes. And I'm like, most of my shoes don't have boxes. So I was easily able to go in and change those listings, identify them and change them, and avoid possible INADs in the future. So I really like the way that they summarize things, and I could just look at it and go, wait a minute, I shouldn't have that many listings with that. And then you click on it and all your listings are there. You click on it, like it's just ridiculously easy to get to the data.
Real quick, I wanted to point out that, so Dorothy is in the chat and she's a boss member, but she is one of the sellers who's been involved in the beta group for the last probably almost year. Yeah. And I know Brooke, she can back me up on this. I think she's very active in that beta group.
Yeah.
And so when she's saying stuff over here in the chat, guys, it's really good information about, from an actual user who's using it for their store. Since the beginning. So.
Oh, I didn't mention my favorite feature, actually, for me at least. My favorite feature is the ability to see repeat customers, because the tech space is highly, we sell a lot of B2B, so a lot of businesses are buying from us, so which means our repeat customer count is very high. So around, I would say 40% of our buyers are repeat buyers. So I will actually call our repeat buyers, the businesses, identify them, and then help them with their future buying needs. And that way, instead of everything going through eBay, it's how I diversify, and I go, directly through PayPal.
Right.
So that's 70% of our revenue is done outside of eBay, but I look at eBay as kind of like my cost of acquisition. So I paid for eBay fees to acquire that customer, but now I have the whole relationship built out for,
and now it's your customer. Yeah.
Now it's my customer.
Mm-hmm.
So that is huge.
That is awesome.
Yeah, for people that do the type of sales that you do, that is not just a one-off, that is a specialty, that is a huge, very cost-efficient way to do that. You know, anybody that has worked outside of eBay or has worked in retail in any way that knows about customer retention and customer acquisition costs, eBay is a very inexpensive way to acquire a customer. And Datamiine and what Brooks is talking about is a great way to convert that customer into being a lifetime customer for you, for your business, for whatever you sell, as opposed to it being just an eBay customer.
Exactly.
So Michelle in the chat is asking if this is a service that's available now. Yes, we actually have down below in the description of this video, there is a link. Now it is a referral link. So if you do click on it, first of all, it's a 30-day free trial, I believe, right, Brooks?
Yep.
But if you do click on it, you know, we do get a little bit as the people referring you, just to be open about that. But okay, so you were talking about the whole automatic delisting and then doing sell similar. And there's a couple things I wanted to touch on with that. First of all, the whole, like, you know, keeping your store active. So let's say you have 1,000 listings and you have it set up so every day it's doing a certain number. So you could have your whole store turn over into new listings like every month, and every single day it's showing activity. Even if you take a week off and go on vacation, it's still, that activity is going to be happening every single day. And I think we all know that having an active store is a big deal with eBay and keeping your sales going.
Yep.
Especially how we always talk about the 2 or 2 that we do in the Boss Facebook group. If you're not able to list 2 new items a day on minimum, you're able to at least, you know, delist and relist 2 of your older items and hopefully make it sell similar, delist and sell similar, which is what this does. And at least 2 of your oldest items. And even if you're not able to make changes in the listing, if you're doing it automatically this way, it will at least create a new item number. It's a new item, a new listing essentially on eBay, and that does get new views and starts everything over. If listings are older than 90 days, it is a proven fact that they are suppressed in search on eBay, which means that unless you have something that there are only 5 available of that thing that someone is searching for, chances are your buyers are not seeing your oldest listings.
Yeah. Well, I know there's been a couple of threads in the Boss group talking about the whole good till canceled versus 30-day listings. And I know it's been brought up again and again. eBay always has been saying for a long time now that good till canceled is the better way to go. And they don't necessarily tell us exactly why. There's certain things that they just don't share for good reason. But I'm going to go ahead and trust that they have the data to back up that opinion. Well, quote unquote opinion. They're the ones that know how everything works. And so what's great about this whole, the Datamiine thing, which Brooks, you're going to, hopefully you're going to be able to show us exactly how it works and show some examples. But being able to do, like, let's say good till canceled and take advantage of the fact that a lot of sales do happen after the 30 days, but knowing that after 90 days, they become stale, you can set up automation to where you can pull stuff down and then do sell similar every 58 days, every 68 days, every however many days, whatever you want your turnover to be, you can do that. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the other good thing about Datamiine is that they'll give you the data that backs it up. So I just looked at my account, and Datamiine, from my delisting and sell similar, Datamiine generated 138 sales for $3,200. So I'm thinking that I mean, prior to Datamiine last March, I was manually ending and relisting a lot of my stale inventory. Like, I had stuff that was 5 years old. And because I have an anchor store with 10,000 listings, I decided that I didn't realize that these were so stale and outdated. So I decided that I was going to just, you know, try to relist them again and see if I could get them sold in the next year. And so this tells me that that's working. So $3,200 in sales from old stale inventory, absolutely. Is it? So is this, that pays for the subscription way more than a year.
So Allison wants to know if Datamiine, when it's doing those sell similars, is it making those mobile friendly? Now, I would think it would have to do with whether or not you already is mobile friendly to begin with, correct?
Yes. And I will let Wuchang comment below if that's not the case. But it's basically taking that exact listing and just copying it and making it, a fresh listing with a new item ID.
Yeah, so basically, when you're listing your item initially, it's up to you to make sure it's mobile friendly. I know there's some issues with the eBay app which is weird, but where it doesn't make it like takes it away or something, or it messes
You need to
with
have
something.
that HTML code in your
Yeah.
title somehow, in your listing somehow. It has to be built in already. There are other ways to go in and bulk edit and add that to your listings, but not through Datamiine.
Yeah. So Sandy says that she was approved to be a beta tester, but felt that she was too small of a seller and didn't have the monthly sales to give good opinions for those bigger sellers who would utilize the setup better. And so I wanted you to speak to that, Brooks. But then also Dorothy came up right after that and was saying that she has around 600 listings, which to me is a pretty standard smaller seller size store. And she's been loving this software, and she does 5 to 10 D-list sell similars every day. And now she's at a point where she has no listings that are over 88 days old. But anyway, Brooks, can you tell us, for sellers who are smaller sellers, is there any reason why this wouldn't be helpful to them?
So our smallest seller has 10 active listings, and he knows, and what he's in a situation that in 3 years he's going fully retired and he's going to go full eBay selling. So he just wants to get set up from the very beginning the right way. And however, since he's in that, he's also in the Facebook group, which he gets so much knowledge and so much input and feedback from all the other Datamiine users that he said it feels justifiable to do that, because he didn't want to get to a situation where he has 200 listings or 300, and then now he wasn't set up for success at the very beginning. So I thought that was pretty cool. But even if you're a smaller seller, you still have to do your accounting. You still have to do your mileage tracking. And if you're not doing that, you're just giving up free money to the government. Right. So I guarantee you, if you're a very small seller, and at the end of the year, beginning of the year, you hand your accountant, a book of receipts, they're going to charge you a lot of money to go through everything. But in Datamiine, it's all right there, and you give them a 12-month profit and loss statement. It's going to be so simple. You're probably going to save $400 or $500 just on CPA fees just by using the tool, and that paid for the subscription.
Yeah, for sure. Will you go ahead and share your screen and maybe show us the whole D-list sell similar or whatever other features you want to share with us?
Yep.
And Dorothy just shared that she's done $3,825 in sales from the D-list and sell similar features since she began using it in September. 158 sales, and she does not reach weaker listings.
Wow. I like that. Anyone in the chat that's watching this right here, please put yourself.
That's some pretty solid information right there.
Yeah.
She's done over 3,000. Theresa's done over 3,000, and that's just in relisting, delist and using sell similar to relist old listings, old, stale, stagnant listings.
Since we're talking about, I'll show you exactly what our numbers are.
And bargain effect, we'll get into pricing shortly.
I think there's a couple of different levels,
there's several different levels depending on your needs. So we're going to talk about the actual item itself.
So we did right at $4,000 from August, because we didn't release this until December. So $4,000 for us, and then year to date we've done already $2,300. So we're over $5,000 just since August. And what we started doing is everything after 6 months. So that's 6 months just dead inventory being buried on eBay that we turn this money into. And this right here is actually increasing your sell-through rate. So our sell-through rate went up by 18%.
Oh, wow.
Because of D-list and sell similar. So let me go ahead and show you how to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the chart that I was talking about, how eBay doesn't give you that good at insights into your inventory. It's loading right now. Okay, so what I like to call this right here is a holding cost chart. So what this right here means is I have 56 active listings, $10,000 worth, that hasn't sold within 91 days or to 180. So I want to take action on old inventory. I just don't, because eBay wants you to promote everything, and for good reasons. But I don't want to. I only want to promote or delist sell similar things that aren't moving, because some of the stuff that's new is probably going to sell faster. So you would just click on the Pareto here, the bucket, and it will pull in all those listings like Theresa was talking about. And then you would bulk edit just by clicking up here, and you would click on this reset button. So reset is moving it into this queue to do something to. So click on that. And then that is going to put you in your delist sell similar basket. And then you select the ones that you want. And then you approve.
And it's 25 at a time. So it's 25 per day.
25 per day. So
that's because you set it up that way.
I think we strategically did that because we're dripping them into eBay 25 per day, which is making you look like you're in the platform every day.
Yeah. But you can change that if you want, correct?
Or
no?
No.
It's 25 max.
It's 25.
Okay.
Yeah, we set that. So then you just click on approve. And then every day we go into your basket and we say, user John Doe has approved 25 listings. We are now going to automatically in the morning just take those and refresh them, new item IDs, and you're done. You're done. So we just basically did 25 listings for you in about 5 seconds.
Okay. And then, so I have a question, because one thing I know with doing sell similar, let's say I have something where when I originally listed it, I had 10 items and then I sold 5 of them. So now I currently have 5. If I end that and do sell similar, it's going to show as 10 items because that's what the original listing was.
Yes.
How does Datamiine deal with that?
Because we have the quantities of everything inside your store. So I'm sure.
But when it does sell similar, it goes with the current quantities as opposed to the original?
It goes to the current. Because we're doing, yes, if that's incorrect,
no, that's the correct way. eBay defaults to the defaults to the original, so we have issues with that. So Datamiine is one step better and does it to the current number, which is fabulous.
Very cool.
Yeah, and Dorothy says it will use the current amount. Sunny asked, is there a cost from eBay if you do that each day? Well, it's the same cost as you doing a new listing every day. So if you have a store level where you have 1,000 listings for free per month, this would be counted as that X number of your 1,000 listings, or whatever your cost per listing is. Yes, it's the same as any other type of listing. You just have a third party helping you do it for you.
Yeah. Let me show you how you can make better decisions off of that. That's a great example. So in your reports page, you have an eBay listing and subscription fee. So this is just kind of showing you what subscription fees we have. We have 2 stores. One is no subscription fee. The other one is basic, which gives us 25 listings, 250 listings per month and 50. Otherwise, we have insertion fees. So you can actually see how many listings we have created, which is the seller you have manually created, and your monthly automated listings by Datamiine. So you know at any point in time if you are underutilizing your listings. So if you have 250 and you're only at 100 and you're at the end of the month, I would go in and delist and relist. And that way you're not getting charged for that. This also, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Wuchan answered one of the questions in the chat and just said you can put hundreds of listings in the queue to be delisted and sell similar, and it will do 25 daily until it's done.
Mm-hmm. Now, and Colleen's asking if this delist is different than us ending our listings after 30 days and relisting ourselves. Well, okay, so at any time we can end listings and either relist or do sell similar ourselves. I think the big deal about Datamiine is that you're automating that, and it's specifically doing sell similar because it is different from relist. But yes, technically you could end your listings at any time, do sell similar yourself, but you have to do it manually. Whereas with Datamiine, you can set it up to, which I mean, if you have a lot of items, which I know Colleen does, it can really make things a lot simpler if you have it automatically set up to just do a sell similar 25 of them per day.
Correct.
Exactly.
And then the other way to make sure you take advantage of the number of listings you have available in your store and what you want to pay for versus what you have free, as Dorothy is saying, make sure that the best time to do this and delist and sell similar is on the 28th day or the 88th day or the 68th day or the 58th day, whatever it may be that keeps that listing from. You don't want to delist a listing that you just paid for, within 24 hours.
Because basically we get, when you do good till canceled, or even if you're doing 30-day listings, it's like you're paying for that listing every 30 days. So if you're going to do a delist and sell similar, you want to have it happen as close to the next date that it would automatically be charging you for it. So you're like exactly what Vicky's saying. You're not overspending.
You're not paying for it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
All right. What else you got for us, Brooks? Oh,
so
yes, Theresa.
Going back to that chart that Brooks just put that up there again, if you could, Brooks.
Holding
So
cost chart?
I don't know what to call it. But that chart that you just had, the subscription fee.
Oh, here.
So this is important. So for those of you that saw that chart that I did in the group that says if you have 3,400 listings, that's the time to go to an anchor store. Scroll down to the bottom of this, Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Datamiine tells you this. Now he's got a bunch of empties because he is definitely at the right store subscription. But if you were at the wrong store subscription, you could easily identify. Matter of fact, Brooks and their company did identify that they were paying more in insertion fees than it would have cost them to jump up to the next level store. So this takes all that math out. You don't have to look at the sheet. You can just look at it and go, oh, wow, I didn't realize that I should be at the next store level. If you're ending and relisting a bunch of listings, maybe it's worth it to you to jump up from that $25 store to that $60 store. So you have 1,000 listings.
Right. Yeah. What this right here means is we're paying $130.35 because we over listed things. So that's the insertion fees. Now, what I've been seeing is, and talking to other users out there, let's say they're at a premium store, and which gives them 1,000 listings per month. But then they come in Datamiine and they're only doing 200. So why are you paying why are you paying $59 when you can actually go down and save $38 because you're not hitting your listings? So that automatically just saves you $360 a year just by looking at the data.
And I was the opposite. I just upgraded to an anchor store because I have 2,500 listings, but then I sell, 400 to 500 a month. So that brings me up to 3,000 listings.
Yep.
But then I'm always wanting to end and relist and sell similar listings. So that brings me right up to the point where I was just about within a $10 or $15 amount difference for anchor store and a premium store. So I was like, I may as well just do it so that I can get the extra benefits with the anchor store and not be worried about strategically ending listings because I don't want to spend an extra $30 here or there.
Yep. See, and that's me. I just end and relist and don't even think about it because I have 10,000 listings and I'm never going to go over it. So, and then you get with the anchor store, you get the $150 per quarter coupon versus 75, and then you get the extra
versus 50.
I'm sorry, versus 50, and then you get the extra $25 credit for promoted listings. So those are two perks.
Yep.
That are worth it.
All right. So what else do you want to show us, Brooks?
All right. So another few things I want to show you is sales through rate. So if anyone is listening and they want to know their sales through rate by category, now you can know that real time. You can just go to sales by categories, and this will actually show you real time your sales through rate. You can see t-shirts for us, 8.2%. So it's up. Tech goods, 24%, 56% for this. So this will help you make better decisions on what to buy. So you don't want to be buying stuff that's going to have you a very slow sales through rate. So this data is very manually to do if you were trying to do it every month in Excel, but now you have it real time. So that's pretty cool. You can look at the data by 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, however you want, and these graphs will automatically populate. So that's a new release that just happened.
That's really cool. Can you show us like the eBay page, the main page, and just do like the general overview of what it looks like for an eBay seller?
You mean like the dashboard?
The dashboard, sure.
Yeah.
So this is the dashboard now kind of looks like this because we can get more data on it.
So
go ahead.
So I was going to say that on the other thing that you were just showing, I forget the screen that it was.
Paid and ship orders?
Well, go ahead. It'll come back to me.
Okay. I'm just going to do a very quick overview, just some small stuff. So this right here is like paid and shipped orders on eBay. Okay. So this is identical to paid and shipped orders. So you have the product that sold. So on 2/19, I sold this motherboard at $249. We paid shipping. The customer, though, anytime you see a number next to their eBay ID, this actually represents the transactions count. So this will show you if you have a repeat customer. So let me just try to find a repeat customer really quickly.
Right.
Perfect. Here's my first one. You click on the number and it'll show you all the transactions associated with that customer. This,
Okay.
if you are in renewables, is huge because you're going to keep identifying repeat buyers. And then hopefully you can take that customer and move them to more of a direct model or push them to your website or whatever you're selling on.
Or let me just say one thing about that, because if you have a niche, I mean, eBay sellers have been wanting information on repeat customers for years. And the very first week that I signed up with Datamiine, I don't have a niche. I don't have anything. I've said for years, I don't think I have repeat customers. And the very first week that I signed up for Datamiine, I was like, wow, I had a repeat customer. And somebody bought a specific brand sweater on Monday, and they bought another specific brand sweater in my store on Wednesday. I would have never, ever put them together because I don't pay attention to this stuff. But thankfully to Datamiine, I do. And then I now know that I have a lot of quilting or fabric buying repeat customers because I sell quilting fabric. So again, I would have never known that. And this is stuff that that eBay customers have been asking for. I mean, eBay sellers have been asking for a while.
Yep.
The other thing that you see there that again, Brooks had mentioned is that you have that customer's information forever. That the customer's information goes away. Or yeah, Teresa's shaking her head.
No, go ahead.
The customer's information, including their email address, is only present on a sale for eBay, I believe, for 60 days. Now you have that information.
We actually have to mask that. So we are certified by eBay. So after 45 days, it looks like this. Okay. But if that customer comes back and buys again,
gotcha,
you have their stuff, but after 45 days, it looks like this right here.
Okay.
Yes. So that's another thing that I love about Datamiine is that if I have, let's say I have repeat customers around Christmas time. So yeah, eBay is going to make Datamiine mask that data and eBay masks it too. But if somebody comes back and buys from me again, it's going to pull that data. I'm going, oh, look, they bought this from me last year. And I can maybe write a little thank you or a little card if that's what your thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, yeah, I love Datamiine retains the data, but we don't get to see it.
And you can actually see all your repeat customers. You can just go to your little customers area and see, oh, this person here has purchased 21 times from us. And you just click on the data and it'll show you every transaction associated with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Michelle in the chat is wanting to know if you can show the accounting page or kind of what the accounting tools you have.
Yep. Okay. So the accounting features, let me just go to your dashboard. There's an accounting and mileage tracking area. So what we realized is tools like QuickBooks out there are way overkill for the average eBay seller, and they're very confusing. So what we've done is just to be able to give you a very simple, I call it a ledger transaction sheet, to where you can say, okay, on February 20th, I went to Goodwill. So my cost of goods, I'm gonna put my source in there as Goodwill, and I spent, you know, let's say $250, and then you can put any special note in there. So it could have been like the 2-notch branch, and you click save. That then creates a journal entry for your profit and loss statement. So in your summary tab over here, this is like month over month profit and loss. So you have your eBay revenue coming in, which we automatically add here, but you have to go in and approve it. So you can see your revenue, where it's coming from, your expenses, your cost of goods, and your profit. Okay.
Very
so if you are doing selling other platforms, I would just come in here once a month. It might be revenue miscellaneous, and I would call this Poshmark. And then you might say $1,000, and then the notes might be Posh January revenue. And now you just created a journal entry for that.
Nice.
And then that will automatically hit your profit and loss statement. So this is hopefully a good enough tool to where you can, you know, see all your cost of goods, your expenses, and things of that nature. So
I think for me, I find that your accounting ledger is much more user-friendly and simplified than something like QuickBooks or Quicken or a lot of different other accounting methods that people use, because Again, I'm not a numbers person. I'm not somebody that's going to create spreadsheets. I don't understand Excel. I know that makes me an antique, but I don't understand how to use it, how to manipulate the columns and do the formulas and all that crap. I just don't do it. For me, this is doing it for me, and in a very simplified manner for people that are not numbers people, that are not spreadsheet people, and that's me. So I like the fact that I can just go in and manually enter everything, because that's how I do my accounting now. But I handwrite so much. I know it's awful, but I do. My accountant is used to it, but I handwrite so much stuff because I just keep physical inventory of all of my stuff in that way. And this will make things easier for me and for him, so he doesn't have to read my chicken scratch. And I can just print things out for him. So I like that.
And keep in mind, if you're using Excel, it's a big risk, because what if your computer dies and you just lost all your files? This right here is a web-based program, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, which I think is excellent. And someone else had a question there. Michelle asked, can it show all the fees and shipping costs for each item? Yes, it does. Yes. And Brooks, if you could show that.
Yep. So you're going to go to your orders page. So you can export this and it will show you everything from your item you sold, the sales price, the PayPal fees, the shipping fees, and all that stuff. So what you need to do is go to your cost of goods here, and you can enter your cost of goods. I'm going to go to inventory real quick and show you how this works. So if you are that person that you want to know how profitable you are on each individual item that you sell, you would just go to your inventory tab and you would go to inventory cost of goods. And this is where you would edit and manually enter how much you're paying for each individual item. Anything in yellow needs to be updated. So I'm going to say this right here costs us $2.50. And then you would click on update. So now you're done. And once things sell, you will actually see the net profitability of each individual sold item. So I sold this for $250. My PayPal fee was $7.50. My cost of goods, if I entered it, would have been there.
But let's stop right there, because what I love about this is that I can edit the cost of goods here. So if I didn't edit it before it's sold, I can edit it after it's sold, and that updates my P&L.
Yeah, you can do it right here. So you can say that this right here costs $25, and then you just click update. So
one of the things, I see people asking questions in the chat, and it looks like Wu Chun got turned into Brooks again, but that's Wu Chun speaking using Brooks' account in the chat. But the really good point that was made is that you guys still need input on how to improve this product, which I think is super cool, because that's the thing, like through the whole beta process, and now that you guys have finally launched officially, you're still making improvements. And so what's really cool is anybody who is actively using the software, if there is something that comes up and you're like, man, I really wish it would do this other thing, depending on kind of the demand for it and how complicated it is to add that feature, you guys are still at the point where you're constantly improving.
Constantly developing and improving.
Yes.
And it's great because, people say, oh, I wish eBay would do X, Y, Z. Well, here's the thing with eBay. There's 14,000 people total that work for eBay. Everything that happens on the tech side of it, there's multiple teams that go into it. It's actually super complicated for any changes to happen, and it takes a long time. Here, we literally have one dude, Wu Chun, who's doing the software development side of it. And so when it comes to making improvements, making changes, adding features, it's
really
crazy
receptive and
how
responsive.
much,
Well, I heard a good analogy last week. It's like, Datamiine is a speedboat and eBay is a cruise ship. So trying to turn things around, you can see that, that's the difference. And that's the truth. That's you have a small company with, a limited number of users, and they can get things done much faster, which, this is why eBay certifies third-party companies to help them out. So, it's a win-win for everybody. And I really like the idea that Datamiine was created by sellers for sellers, because there was a group of about 200 beta testers that were providing feedback and giving input, and gave us what we have. Yeah.
And Chris makes a good point. Yes, it is. eBay it has endorsed Datamiine.
Well, I don't know if it's endorsed as opposed to, what do they call it? There's a term for it, right? Where you guys
certified.
They approve of the product, and it falls within all of their guidelines of what you're allowed to do.
Which means basically that you know, they're not just ripping sellers off is basically what it means.
Yeah.
It means that eBay, you know, recognizes this as a valid product that can be used and has and is bona fide through eBay.
Exactly.
Good word, Chris.
Hey, Brooks, real
eBay's-
quick. Sorry, go ahead, Theresa.
I was going to say eBay, you have to understand that eBay has to give Datamiine access to their data, our seller data, which is really eBay's data. And so before they do that, they have to go through this whole process of being certified and making sure
not
that
just anybody
legit.
can get into eBay's data and
Yeah.
backdoor access to their information. So they had to go through a huge approval process to even get to that point.
It's very big on security. So
Yes.
obviously we have your data. So the biggest stuff for eBay is this company secure? Is there any liability for other people to be, you know, so that's the huge emphasis they put.
Yeah. What up, Callie's World? So, hey, real quick, Brooks,
Yep.
before you turn off your share screen, can you show us the mileage tracker really quick? And then
Yep.
we gotta wrap up the screen share.
Yep. So mileage tracking real quick, go back into your dashboard page, mileage tracking. So what we realized is most eBay sellers out there go to the same spots over and over. They only go to like 5 sourcing spots. They go to USPS, they go to the house. So you can go into Datamiine and just go to your address book and you just keep adding your spots. So this right here might be Metro 1 Flea Market and you put the address in there. Once you got all that stuff entered in there, you just go into your log and you say, you know, I went from my house to the flea market and then I went back to my house. And then
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
That's
Because
way-
I know that I tend to use the same places all the time, except when I'm, you know, doing estate sales and garage sales. And then I've mentioned before, I tend to print out all of my addresses. So I have it for my mileage. But now I can just like enter it. It's pretty good.
Well, if I go for one of my sourcing days, I'm going to go to, you know, let's say all 6 savers in one day. So
You have a
I'm going to
loop.
go from one saver to the next. And then my next entry will be from that saver to another one and then to the Buffalo Exchange. So that's pretty cool.
Do that once a week and it would take you 5 minutes to update your mileage chart. If you
Yeah,
do it
but-
once a day, if you're really good like Dorothy and you go in once a day and do all of your stuff, updating all of your stuff would take you 5 minutes a day every day.
Yep.
So here's the part that I like, because most of the people in the group aren't going to do this once a day or once a week. They're going to do it in February when they have to do their taxes.
Right.
So what
Like me.
So what I really like to do is take my credit card statement and see that, oh, on March 13th of 2018, I went to Ross. And then I can go, oh, here it is, and then add it to this, and then I can do it after the fact as well. So I love it for that.
Very, very cool. All right, Brooks, can you take off the screen share now
Yep.
so we can see your face?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here.
I know this is a lot of information to try and get into 1 hour, and I know that there are a lot more questions. There is a Facebook group that is dedicated to Datamiine, but also
I have that link below.
there is a link below to that. But also Brooks has done several informational YouTube videos to show people how to use different features
Yep.
to Datamiine. And if you want to talk about that, Brooks.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel just called Brooks Boland, my name. And a lot of our content is on the Facebook group. So Datamiine users. So I'm doing daily Facebook Live, 10-minute videos, 5-minute videos off each individual feature. So if you just follow the group and you'll see I'm live, I'm talking about, you know, just mileage tracking, just delist, relist. So we're very active. And what's really neat about it is a lot of our users reply back to all the comments. So if you have a question about Datamiine, it's such a tight-knit community that they're going to write back and say, oh, this is how I do it. Or like Dorothy says, the best day to do delist, relist is 58 days, so you save fees. So we always welcome feedback in that group. We actually do a lot of polling in that group. So when we come out with new features, I'm asking our entire audience before we're just developing it. So that's where you actually have input into what we're developing. And,
Yeah, which is real different from something like eBay. You know, eBay will just come out with these quarterly changes and these announcements and, hey, this is what we've changed. And you don't really get, this is just, it is what it is. This is what we've changed. And now you have to adjust accordingly.
Right.
Something nice is that this is a company that wants to work with sellers and for sellers, that it wants to know, what do you need? Like this is, we're thinking of doing this. How would it work for you?
Yep.
Yeah, so go ahead, Theresa.
I was going to say, we want to make sure that we talk about the pricing. I
I was
forget
just
that
gonna
question.
say, so Brooks, if you could go into, I know there's some tiers and you could talk about not crying tears, but tears of
Joy.
levels
Tears.
of the program. But I do want to like remind people, first of all, just even as it's set up now, things that you normally pay for, like mileage tracking, accounting software, any number of things. If you pay for that stuff, keep that in mind, because if this ends up being a tool, and like I said, the link below, it is a 30-day free trial, so you can test it out. And if you think it's something that could kind of take care of some of those other things, you can see where it would be worth the cost.
Yeah, you can sign up and go in and play around and see what it looks like for you with your information, and see if that's something that adds value to your business and to your life.
Yeah, and there's not a mobile app, but Chris is saying that the site is super mobile friendly, and that she uses it on her phone at night, and it has no problems with it. So Brooks, why don't you tell us what are the different tiers?
Okay, 3 tiers. One, if you just want accounting features, it's going to be $20 a month. So that gives you your mileage tracking. It's also shows all your orders and everything, like we showed, paid and shipped. You can have that. 2 is $30, the mid tier, and that gives you the bulk editing features of inventory. And then our top tier is $40, which gives you all functionality of D-list, relist, and all that good stuff. But if I'm in a trial and I have 30 days to really use this tool, I strongly suggest just getting in there for a few hours and watch our videos, because they're very short, and just go through it. Then I would go to make sure you're in the right store subscription. So you could be overutilizing and paying eBay too much money to where we can automatically save you money per month, and that would pay for the tool. 2, if you see your inventory chart and you see that you have, that chart can be eye-opening, because you might say, wow, I got $20,000 I haven't sold in half a year. Immediately start going in and refreshing and delisting sell similar, because in 30 days when the trial's over with, you're going to be able to go to your report page and you might have already generated $500 in extra revenue from it.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point, that if somebody signs up for it, even just in the 30-day free trial, but even if you were paying for it and you did the $40 level so that you could do all of the delist and sell similar, if you immediately take advantage of that, I mean, really, it would take like 1 or 2 sales, depending on what it is that you sell, something that's been sitting around forever, to basically make up for the cost of that. And most likely you're going to go above and beyond.
Right. And then another cool thing we just launched is our referral program. So if you have a friend or you see someone out there that you know on Facebook that is complaining about certain things that Datamiine solves, you just send them your link in your My Account page, and we'll actually pay you $50 a month if they subscribe for 3 months. So it actually we pay you more.
Not a month, one time.
Not a month. Not a month.
Oh,
if
yeah.
If you want to start paying people $50 a month, I think that I'm not sure how you're crunching those numbers, but
Yeah, sorry. I always mess up one time when I go live. There's always something that I say that's like the wrong thing, and that was a big one.
That was it.
So $50 one time, but that's more than the actual subscription cost. So I say if you just get one friend a month, you actually make money to use the program. So
and that doesn't matter which level they sign up for.
No.
There you go.
All right.
There we go.
So again, we have our referral link is down below in this video. Check it out. Now, Brooks, do you have to be signed up for Datamiine in order to join the Facebook group?
No.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say to you guys. If you're on the fence about it, first of all, try out the free trial. And if you're not sure about using it in the long term, join the Facebook group, because then you can see all the information. You can see all the conversations. Videos. You can see, like, from other people's perspectives. There's over 200 people in there, and a lot of them are people like Dorothy who are actively using the product. And you're going to be able to get more information from people who are using it themselves, or sellers
to help
like
weigh
you.
your decision. But also, I would suggest actually signing up into the Facebook group and reading that information and watching the videos before you start your 30-day trial, so that you already know what to look for, so you don't waste that 30 days. So you actually have that time to know how to go in and set yourself up and get the most out of that 30-day trial to see if it's going to work for you. Because I think that if you do a 30-day trial and then don't look at it for 3 weeks, you're not going to get the chance to go in and see what features there are and what features might work for you. So that's my suggestion. Go in and make the most of that 30 days and that delist and sell similar feature. And like Brooke said, I think that you're going to find that you're going to sell a lot of your old stale stuff that is going to more than pay for the subscription. And you're going to find that there's a great value in the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you think about the $3,300 that I sold in, you know, at a $40 subscription, that's $480 a year. So I'm good for 5 years.
There you go.
Well, and so I would say real quick, you know, in the little bit that you guys were able to see, I'm sure it seemed super overwhelming, super maybe complicated because maybe you've never seen it before.
And we've tried to, and we truncated it so much that honestly, it just touched on the features. But I've watched a few of the presentations that Brooks has done and a few of the YouTube videos, and he is very methodical at going step by step by step and being able. And I'm a person that's visual, and I need that.
Yeah.
And
they're super responsive.
Really
so I guarantee you, if you get into it and you're like, wow, this is overwhelming, I don't understand it, you're going to probably be able to get some hands-on help from Wu-Chun, from Brooks. So definitely try it out. And plus, there's other stuff that we didn't even touch on, like like wholesale, being able to get stuff wholesale, like literally connecting you to being able to get product wholesale through Datamiine.
Wholesale distributors.
I know that they're working on virtual assistant stuff. You know, having being able to through Datamiine getting virtual assistants to help you with cross posting and things like that. So I mean, there's so much more that's being developed now that's going to moving forward is going to even add more onto what it is that you're getting from it. It's insane. Callie, no, it's not a Pete and Pete Nickelodeon hat, but wouldn't that be cool if it was? Let's just pretend it is. Okay. All right. So any last words, Brooks?
No, I think you nailed it. This year we are focusing on potentially some cross-listing stuff. We don't know what platforms yet, but a lot of our users use Poshmark. A lot of them use Mercari, Etsy, things of that nature. So that would be very huge if we can get in some kind of deal like that. And then that's about it. So please definitely sign up for the trial down below. And we're very communicative on the Facebook group, so make sure you join that as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Theresa, how about you?
Just give it a try. And you know, if I think Vikki's idea is a great one, but if you're the type of person like me that needs to watch a video and do it as you go, watch a couple of videos, then sign up. But I'm the one that needs to be, oh, he says, go here. And then I go find it and I click on it. And the other thing too, that I try to tell people is to sign up as sooner rather than later, because Datamiine will go back. Is it 90 days, Brooks, to get your data? Go back and pull 90 days worth of data from eBay, which when I started this, I was like, oh man, I want to go back further. But now I'm a year out and like, okay, so I've got all the data that I need to compare to last year. So I'm loving it. But it's better to get signed up to get that to get as much data. If you sign up now, you're going to get
you'll have all of 2019.
You'll have everything you need for this year.
Yeah, and so and even some of some of Q4. And that I think is an eBay limitation.
See, Wu-Chun says 123 days.
That's a very specific. But so you do it right now, you're going to get a good chunk of
Q4.
Quarter,
yep.
Which is huge because you're going to want to be able to look back when you get to the next fourth quarter and really see, you know, because it's interesting. I know that like a lot of this information here, I'm going to switch over here. A lot of this information is out there. I mean, obviously you guys are pulling from eBay, but it's not readily available for us to consume it and to be able to look at it. And so like, you know, any of you guys that are in Facebook groups and stuff like that, it's like literally every single day, somebody's like, man, are sales slow for anyone else this month or this week or today or whatever? And it's like, all of it is so anecdotal. And it's like, the reality is if you can look back over a period of time and, you know, obviously you're just starting out now, but let's say you have Datamiine for a couple of years and you're able to look back and really see like, oh, wow, at this time of each month, this happens, or here's a pattern that happens every 90 days, or this is what last year looked at this time, and this is totally normal.
Oh, that's a good point. So one quick thing is, you know, in Datamiine, it actually shows you your sales cycle. So our sales cycle is around 60 days. So to be thinking about Q4 is around July, which is coming up, and you know, it'll be here before you know it. So you can actually start making procurement decisions with Datamiine data now for even Q4 decisions. Because you can see all your sales through rate by product.
Very, very cool.
Yep.
All right. Last thing I wanted to say, Theresa, I think do you want to like hook us up with what's happening over at eBay for Business today? Because what's crazy, I kind of feel like they might be stalking us because it seems kind of weird how every week their topic seems to tie in so well with ours. So it's a little bit suspicious, but I actually think it's pretty cool. So what's going on over at eBay for Business?
So I have to go look because you put me on the spot. Okay, so over at eBay for Business show today is about making your eBay business more efficient. So if you want to know, they're going to have ideas and suggestions. So if you want to get some, I'm always open to ideas. I did a podcast with Griff last week when I was at eBay, and I taught him something. Griff's been selling on the platform for 122 years, and I taught him something. So I'm always, that shocked me, but I'm always up for getting ideas and tips from other sellers. So yes, definitely tune into the eBay for Business Facebook page. It'll be a broadcast at
it's at 12:30, and I know that especially this week they are looking for tips from the rest of us. So you should totally go check them out at 12:30. They'll be live with Audrey over on the eBay for Business Facebook page. And then you guys can actually give your tips if you have some really cool like little tricks and things that you do to be super efficient. You should go over there and make sure you make your voice known, because it's always fun to get to be a part of the conversation.
The other thing too is we do a couple housekeeping things. So Theresa wanted to talk about, she has a meetup group if you happen to be an Arizona seller.
Yeah, so I have a meetup group that I do. It's called it's in Arizona, Phoenix area. It's East Valley Innovative eBay Sellers, also known as EVIES, because I'm all about the acronym. And we meet the third Wednesday of every month, and we meet in Tempe. And so if you're in the Phoenix area, then look us up on Facebook. I think they have the link below, and we'll get you signed up in there, and then you can, join us. We have over 100 active seasoned sellers in the group, and it's an awesome group. We meet in somebody's home. It's great. We talk about all kinds of stuff and tips and tricks and whatever. So yeah, that takes place every month, the third Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, and speaking of meetups, a couple of things. Next Tuesday, the 26th, is our
meetup here in Las Vegas. So if you're here in the Las Vegas area, the link to our meetup is below the show. There is a Facebook page just for the meetups, and we really just talk about topics and meetups for that. We have about 65 to 70 people in the Facebook group, and we have only had 4 meetups so far. So this will be our 4th. So we've got about 20, 25 people expected. This particular meetup, we're going to be talking about lighting. We're going to be talking about cameras. We're going to be talking about taking better photos, and we're going to bring examples. So
we're going to bring our ring light, and we're
bringing our lighting kit, and we are bringing we're bringing the mannequin, and we want you to bring whatever you use to take your photos, whether it's your camera or your phone. And we're going to bring some examples and show you how to get the best photos with the items that you have.
And how to change your settings and stuff like that to make it work for you.
So it's going to be a little bit of a hands-on, and I know a lot of people, some people, and a lot of people have difficulty with photos, and that tends to be one of the reasons, is because they don't know how to use the settings on their phone or on their camera. And while I'm not an expert, Katy is actually much better than I am at that. She's taught me. I'm getting much better, and Dorothy is bringing a movie screen backdrop for us.
Thanks,
Hers
Dorothy.
is smaller. Ours is attached to the.
Yeah, ours isn't very portable.
Ours is 120 inches long. We can't do that, but yeah, so that would be really cool. But we also, anybody that's going to be in the Pacific Northwest, we leave tomorrow for Portland to visit Katy's family, and there is a huge meetup happening in the Portland area on Saturday.
Yep, on the 23rd. So hopefully we're going to see some of you guys there, and we're probably going to be doing No Pants Friday After Dark Edition featuring
You make that sound so
featuring
dirty.
My sister Binky and my mom Jean. And so my mom, she's ridiculous.
If you think Katy's funny, her mom is like.
My mom has no filter. It's guaranteed she will say something inappropriate and hilarious and probably weird,
probably offensive,
probably weird. So that's going to be a train wreck. So you guys should totally tune in for that on Friday. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, all right, we got to go. We got stuff to do. But hey, Theresa, thank you so much for coming and joining us and helping us out. Awesome. And Brooks, thank you once again. And please, guys,
thank you.
Please, guys, go ahead and try out Datamiine. Go through the link down below. Try out the free trial. And again, the Facebook group for Datamiine is down there as well.
I am not somebody that ever talks. I just want to say this real quickly. I'm not somebody that ever talks about apps or programs or things that help me with the eBay business. I've been doing eBay for almost 15 years. And I'm someone, as I said, I handwrite everything. I'm, you know, I know my numbers and I know what I'm doing, but I'm like the lone wolf with this crap. I don't want any help from other people. Datamiine is a game changer. It is for me. I need to get more involved in it and figure out how to use this to the best of my ability to help my business. But it has so many features that I know I haven't even scratched the surface. And we definitely haven't scratched the surface here with this
for
show.
sure.
So definitely check it out. It is well worth the time and the money.
And Callie, we're going to come to Florida at some point. We'll probably sleep on your floor. So, all right, guys, thanks for coming and watching the show. Again, don't forget to check in with the eBay for Business Facebook page, their live show today, which is going to be happening at 12:30. So coming up here pretty quick. I'll be in there throwing out my suggestions, you know, like I do. But we'll see you guys later. And thank you so much. Bye.